Roaches, rodents, employees not washing their hands, food stored at unsafe temperatures. These are just some of the critical violations food inspectors are supposed to look out for and force restaurants to fix.
But KXAN investigator Brian Collister uncovered the Austin Travis County Health Department is not keeping up with the number of restaurants it's required to check, putting you at risk of getting sick when you eat out.
Our main philosophy is do no harm to those people. Make sure that they leave here healthy and happy.
Guero's Taco Bar on South Congress serves more than 1,000 people a day. To keep the place clean and the food safe, management doesn't wait for health department inspectors to show up.
We have weekly inspections ourselves that no one knows when they're happening. Sometime during the week, our managers will come through and inspect.
The popular Austin restaurant scored a perfect 100 on its last 2 inspections in 2013 and October of 2014. Not all restaurants are as proactive.
This one's at 40.
And that's why health inspections are crucial to making sure your meal is safe.
We look at the food, how it's handled by the employees, making sure they're washing their hands properly when they need to wash their hands, looking at the temperatures of food.
The city promises food establishments are inspected twice a year, the same standard set by the state health department. KXAN has discovered that's not happening. More than a quarter of the 4,200 food service establishments in Austin and Travis County received only 1 inspection in all of 2014. Some have gone longer than a year. The longest, Vince Young Steakhouse and Bob's Steak and Chop House downtown. Last inspected in mid-2013, more than a year and a half ago.
Our mission is to protect public health and to reduce the risk of foodborne illness.
Vince DeLisi helps run the health department's inspection program.
By your own standard, you're supposed to inspect twice a year, but that's not happening.
That's correct.
Doesn't that put the public at risk?
Well, I think that if we're not able to inspect the establishments as often as we need to, then there is some risk increase to the public, certainly.
DeLisi says the problem is, as Austin's population has grown 25% over the past decade, his department has only added 3 inspectors, going from 20 to 23 just last fall.
Because we hadn't had the resources to conduct 2 inspections per year on each establishment, we have been prioritizing our assessments or our inspections on higher risk establishments.
But that's not what we found. High-risk places that serve raw food like sushi went for a year or more. After our interview, inspectors finally returned to Vince Young and Bob's last month. A year and a half later, they both passed again. We also found one of Austin's hottest new restaurants, Qui on 6th, opened in June of 2013. Still hasn't had an inspection since opening its doors.
We've seen some restaurants going more than a year without being inspected. Is that okay?
I would say that it's not our goal.
In fact, health department records show 340 Austin restaurants, bars, and other food service establishments permitted in the past 2 years have not been inspected since opening. When inspectors do show up and find enough violations for a restaurant to fail an inspection, they're supposed to follow up quickly to make sure violations are fixed.
We've seen some restaurants go more than 30 days without a follow-up inspection after failing an inspection. Why would that happen?
They should have an inspection within 10 or after 10 business days.
But when Hunan Lion failed an inspection last October, it wasn't re-inspected after 10 days, only 3 months later after we asked about it. DeLisi says the return visit wasn't reassigned for its follow-up. An inspector finally dropped by in late January, and Hunan failed a second time.
Because we're not in these establishments ensuring compliance, there is an increased risk. However, because we've got a lot of experience in this department doing food safety, we see where the problems lie, and we're trying to do our best to work towards bringing all of these establishments into compliance.
The only information the city makes available about its inspections is the score. No information online about the details of the violations. But for the first time ever, KXAN is making available to you the details behind every inspection at every restaurant over the past 3 years. Also, coming up tomorrow night at 10, find out why the health department says you shouldn't see what's in these health inspection reports. Brian Collister, KXAN Investigates.
And in Brian's investigation, we point out restaurants the health department has never inspected since they opened. But to be clear, no inspection, of course, does not mean that they are not up to code.
We checked, and the health department says it has not had the funding for more inspectors to get to all of the city's restaurants regularly. To help out, the city council recently approved the addition of 6 more, all in an effort to inspect each site twice by the end of this year. We'll check back with them to make sure that happens. Remember, if you have something you want us to investigate, email us at report@kxan.com. We